Hello everyone and welcome to a new video from Southport Pleasureland. Today we are going to be taking a look around the perimeter of the park to see if there is any changes with less than a week till the park opens. We're going to start by taking a look into the old go-kart area of the park, which was expanded into last year with new rides. These rides have now been removed and they are going to be replaced with a new roller coaster for 2020, which is the former Crazy Train from Gulliver's in Warrington. You'll be able to see as we look through the fence that the track and supports have been laid out onto the ground. The track has been repainted red and the supports remain in yellow. The supports could do with a repaint as well though, just to give the whole ride a fresh new look. You'll be able to notice as we look around in this area the old gondolas from the Ferris wheel that used to operate at Camelot theme park. This ride however has been dismantled for the past few years. You will be able to see at the back what appear to be some ride supports that have been painted grey. I don't know what ride these belong to, but if they are the Crazy Trains then it would suggest that the rest of the supports will be painted grey, which will give the ride the fresh look that it deserves. We've now moved right into the corner of this area where you can see the platform for the ride station laid out on the floor ready to be constructed. Now moving along the main road at the back of the park, we come across this tower structure. I think it's meant to look like the Blackpool Tower, however I'm not too sure. This could do with a bit of a paint up however, as it does look a bit tired and old. I assume that it's just going to be used as some theming just to make the park look more interesting. Continuing along the main road, you come across this new banner which promotes social distancing. You now come to the rear entrance of the park, which to the right there's been a new eating area built, and then to the left is the old pirate ship from Camelot theme park, which once again is a ride which has been dismantled and used for some theming. Just behind the new eating area is the old Pinfari looping roller coaster, which has been at the park for a few years now. This is a ride which doesn't get many good reviews due to its roughness. This ride could do with a repaint as well as the Crazy Train, just to make it look fresher. However, I can't see this ride being at the park for many years to come, as the park has now got a 50-year lease and I assume it is going to get a new investment which will include new rides, and I can see this one leaving very soon. Moving along the back of the park, you will see the old perimeter wall, which is looking very run down. This is due to lack of investment. However, with the new 50-year lease that has been granted to the park, I can see all the run-down areas of the park being invested in and being made to look much nicer. Moving along, you will come across one of the old Pleasureland buildings. This building looks very dilapidated and from the outside makes the park look very scruffy. However, once inside, the park is much nicer. I assume this building is due to be demolished with a new investment come along very soon. Walking up this hill, you can get a good look inside the park and into the area which is currently used for the Pleasureland arena. In my opinion, this area is a waste of space and could be used to put in more rides. We're now going to make our way down into the car park area, which is now used as a touring park for motorhomes to park up overnight. Just around the corner, I'll show you where the former Traumatizer roller coaster was located, which is now being moved to Blackpool Pleasure Beach and renamed as Infusion. Just here is one of the former foundations of the former Traumatizer roller coaster. For those of you who may not know, this park was previously owned by Blackpool Pleasure Beach before it was closed in 2006. Moving around the corner from the car park, you come across yet another old building which is currently used for children's parties. I don't know how much it would cost to give this building a lick of paint, however it would surely be worth it just to keep the building looking fresh and inviting for guests. In the middle of one of the Pleasureland car parks is an old signpost with no sign on it. I think it would be much nicer just to put a Pleasureland sign in there and advertise the business a little bit. I thought I would show you behind the fence on one of the fun houses which is built by the Pleasureland themselves. We've now walked further along the path and to the main entrance area of the park. When you look inside the main entrance, you will notice that the Grand Canyon roller coaster has been moved to the front of the park next to the waltzer. Looking up at the top of this tower, you'll yet again see poor maintenance at the park. I feel that the outer areas of the park should be better maintained just to make them more presentable and get more guests into the park. Moving along towards the Pleasureland miniature railway, you will see a new main entrance next to the old one. I don't know whether the old main entrance will remain closed and just use this new one, or whether both entrances will be open. I don't think that this will make much sense, however, so I think that this is just going to be the new main entrance. Walking over towards the Pleasureland miniature railway and the marine lake, you will notice that a new ride for the 2020 season is being constructed. I assume that this ride is owned by the Pleasureland due to the close proximity to the park. This area has been finished off very well and can show you how good the park could potentially be. Whilst next to the marine lake, I noticed that the swan boats are being put out for when visitors once again return to the town after lockdown has been lifted. This is one of the other many attractions that the area has to offer. Moving back from the marine lake and towards the Pleasureland, located just next door to the Pleasureland is the Splash World Water Park, which again is one of the many attractions in the local area. We're now back where we started the video at the go-kart area, and if you zoom in slightly you can see the remix ride and Frog Hopper are still at Pleasureland and will be returning for the 2020 season. And just behind the go-kart area is the park and a car park which is operated by the Pleasureland, and it just shows how much room there is next to the Pleasureland if the park ever wanted to try and expand, which I think it will do in the near future. Just in front of the frisbee ride there has been what looks to be a new ride station constructed. I don't know what ride will be placed here, but with it having a permanent station it would suggest it is a permanent ride.